When life hurts, we can feel like we're being crushed under the weight of our own struggles, like the world is coming down on us, and we're powerless to stop it. But the truth is, life isn't trying to break you. It's trying to mold you into something stronger, something greater than you ever thought possible. Pain doesn't come to defeat you. It comes to awaken something inside of you. What happens in those painful moments matters more than the pain itself. You can choose how you respond. You can choose to see the hurt as an obstacle, or you can choose to see it as the fire that forges your character. You are not your pain. You are the person who decides how to rise from it. And make no mistake, every single one of us will face moments when life knocks us down. It's inevitable. But what's also inevitable if you choose it is that you will rise. You can't control the storms that come your way. No one can, but you can control how you face them. Will you let the storm define you? Or will you stand tall and say, I'm going to fight for what I believe in. I'm going to fight for my future. I'm going to fight for my dreams. Life will always present challenges, but you have the ability to determine if those challenges will defeat you or empower you. When you feel like everything is falling apart, understand that what's really happening is this: you're being shaped, you're being tested, you're being refined. The pain you feel is not here to punish you. It's here to prepare you for something bigger, something better, something more extraordinary than you could ever imagine. It's not about what happens to you, but about what you do with what happens to you. Know this: there is no growth without discomfort. Think about it. If a seed stays buried in the dark, protected from the elements, it will never grow. It will never reach its potential. It's the pressure, the weight of the soil, the pushing and pulling of nature that forces it to stretch, to reach for the light, and to grow into something magnificent. Your pain, your struggle, your challenge, they're part of the same process. And though it feels hard right now, remember, the harder the challenge, the greater the potential for growth. In those moments when life hurts, when everything feels like it's falling apart, know that you are not alone. Every single person on this planet has experienced hardships, some more severe than others. It's easy to think that you're the only one facing these struggles, but that's a lie. We're all connected, we're all human, and together we share in the journey of overcoming adversity. So don't isolate yourself in your pain. Instead, turn to others. Let their strength fuel your strength, and let your strength inspire theirs. There's power in shared experience. There's power in realizing that even when you're at your lowest, someone else is out there fighting the same battle, and together you'll rise. The most powerful thing you can do when life hurts is to reframe the narrative. Stop telling yourself the story that you're being defeated. Start telling yourself the story that this is temporary, that this is temporary, that this is part of your journey, that this is where you find your strength. Tell yourself that you are becoming the best version of yourself in this moment, in this very trial. Yes, life hurts, but that's the very thing that will help you grow into who you were always meant to be. When life hurts, it's your opportunity to rise, to reach new heights, to discover new strengths, and to transform. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by what you choose to do in response. No matter how hard it gets, don't give up. Don't shrink back. Step into your power and know that on the other side of this pain, there is a version of you that is unrecognizable in its strength, resilience, and wisdom. Keep going. Keep fighting. The best is yet to come. Pain is one of the most universal experiences in life. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care about your background, your goals, or your dreams. At some point, each of us will face pain, whether it's emotional, physical, or psychological. The question isn't whether we'll experience it, it's how we choose to respond to it. Most people instinctively want to avoid pain. We try to run from it, numb it, distract ourselves from it. We see pain as something to be feared, something that threatens our happiness and well-being. But here's the truth: pain is not your enemy. Pain is an essential part of the human experience, and it's an invitation to grow, to evolve, and to expand in ways that we can't even imagine when everything is going smoothly. When we experience pain, our first instinct might be to ask, why me? But what if we shifted that question to, what is this trying to teach me, instead of resisting it? What if we embraced it, knowing that it has a purpose? Every challenge, every heartbreak, every setback carries a lesson within it. The most important step in dealing with pain is understanding that it can lead to something better, it can lead to growth. You see, pain forces us to confront things we might otherwise ignore. It pushes us out of our comfort zones and demands that we face our weaknesses, our fears, and our vulnerabilities. And when we have the courage to face them, something extraordinary happens. We become stronger. Now think about it, there is no real transformation without discomfort. When you put your hand on a hot stove, you're not just feeling pain for the sake of it. That pain is your body's way of telling you this is not good for you. Move away, change direction. Similarly, emotional pain signals to us that something is out of alignment in our lives, whether it's a relationship, a belief, or an expectation. Pain is an alert system that gives us the chance to make changes, to heal, and to move forward in a new direction. Without it, we might stay stuck, unaware of the deeper issues that need attention. Pain also has the power to deepen your empathy. When you've gone through something painful, you understand others in a way that someone who hasn't experienced it simply can't. You develop a kind of wisdom that can't be bought or learned in books. You begin to understand the value of patience, of perseverance, of vulnerability, and of strength. Embrace the pain. Don't run from it. Don't fight it. See it for what it truly is, a catalyst for change, growth, and the expansion of your capacity to handle life's challenges. It's the fire that forges you into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. The more you allow yourself to experience pain fully without fear, without resistance, the more you'll realize that it has no power over you. It's simply a part of your journey, and through it, you can become unstoppable. When life delivers a blow, the immediate reaction might be one of shock, frustration, or anger. It's natural to feel overwhelmed or powerless in the face of hardship. But the reality is, while we can't control the events that happen to us, we always have the power to choose how we respond to them. And this choice, this ability to determine our response, is where our true power lies. Often people think that they are defined by their circumstances, that the things that happen to them dictate who they are and what they can become. But the truth is, who you are in the face of adversity is not defined by the adversity itself. It's defined by how you respond to it. You can't always control the challenges life throws your way, but you can control how you meet them. Will you shrink back in fear? Will you lash out in anger? Or will you face the challenge with courage, resilience, and clarity? Your response is your responsibility, and it has a direct impact on the outcome. If you choose to react out of fear or frustration, you may find yourself stuck in negative emotions, unable to move forward. These emotions can cloud your judgment, lower your energy, and prevent you from seeing opportunities for growth. But if you choose to respond with intention, with a mindset of empowerment, then the situation transforms. The pain becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. The obstacle becomes an opportunity to build your strength, your resilience, and your character. One of the most powerful aspects of choosing your response is that it gives you a sense of control, even when everything else feels out of control. In moments of crisis, we often feel like victims, like the world is acting upon us, that things are happening to us, and we are powerless in the face of it all. But by choosing our response, we regain our agency. We take back the power that was lost in the chaos, and we transform our situation by how we choose to react. This choice, however, is not always easy. It's tempting to react out of habit, to default to old patterns of behavior. But every time you consciously choose your response, you begin to rewrite the script. You teach yourself to respond from a place of strength, of calm, and of purpose. Over time, these intentional responses become part of who you are. New neural pathways form in your brain, new ways of thinking take root, and your ability to navigate life's challenges improves exponentially. Choosing your response is not about denying your feelings or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. It's about taking a moment to pause, to reflect, and to decide how you want to show up in the face of adversity. You are not your emotions, your circumstances, or your past experiences. You are the chooser. And in that choice lies your power to create a new reality, one where you are no longer controlled by external events, but are the master of your own fate. Adversity is often seen as something to avoid or fear. It's natural to want to escape pain, failure, and difficulty. Yet the most profound growth in life often comes from the very experiences we would prefer to skip. Growth through adversity is not just about surviving tough times. It's about using those moments to become more, to expand your capacity, and to develop the resilience that will serve you in every future challenge. When you face a difficult situation, it can feel like the weight of the world is pressing down on you. But it's important to understand that adversity has a transformative power. It is the fire that forges steel, the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. Just as plants grow stronger when they are exposed to wind and rain, people grow stronger when they face hardship and difficulty. It's in the midst of challenge that we discover what we're really made of. Adversity forces us to stretch beyond our comfort zones. When everything is easy, it's easy to remain stagnant. It's easy to follow the same routine, to keep things safe and familiar. But the real lessons, the real opportunities for growth come when we're pushed to our limits. It's when we are forced to dig deeper, to think differently, to fight harder, that we uncover strengths we never knew existed. Challenges have a way of revealing hidden potential. They reveal what we are truly capable of when we refuse to give up. Additionally, adversity teaches us the value of persistence and patience. It shows us that success isn't always a straight line. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and moments of doubt. But those setbacks don't define us unless we let them. Each failure is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to adjust our course. The process of falling and rising again teaches us humility and resilience. It shows us that failure is not an end point, it's a stepping stone. Each time we pick ourselves up, we are one step closer to who we are meant to become.
Beyond individual growth, adversity can also deepen our sense of empathy and compassion. When you face challenges, you understand pain in a way that others who haven't faced similar struggles may not.
This shared experience of human suffering can create a bond between people, fostering understanding and connection. It's through our own struggles that we begin to appreciate the struggles of others, and we become more supportive, more compassionate, and more willing to help those who are walking their own difficult paths. The truth is, adversity is not something we should try to avoid at all costs. It's something to embrace, something to learn from. It's the crucible in which our most valuable traits, strength, patience, resilience, and empathy are developed. Through adversity, we evolve, becoming more than we ever could be without it. When life becomes overwhelming and it feels like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's easy to feel isolated, like you're the only one going through hardship. Pain has a way of convincing us that we are alone in our struggles, that no one else understands what we're going through. But that feeling of isolation is often an illusion. The truth is, you are never truly alone in your pain. Every person, no matter how successful, how put together they may seem on the outside, has faced their own battles. Everyone experiences loss, rejection, fear, and disappointment at some point. It may not look the same for everyone, but the feelings are universal. When you're going through a tough time, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that others are doing better, that everyone else has their life figured out while you're struggling. But the reality is, behind every smile, behind every success story, there are untold struggles. We all face adversity in different forms, and part of the beauty of life is that we are all connected through these shared human experiences. In moments of hardship, it's vital to remember that you're part of something bigger than yourself. You are not an isolated island left to fend for yourself. There are people around you, friends, family, and even strangers who have walked through similar storms, and many are willing to support, to listen, and to help. You don't have to navigate your struggles in silence. The simple act of reaching out, of being vulnerable enough to ask for support, can change everything. It not only reminds you that you are not alone, but can also lead to unexpected connections and sources of strength. Moreover, recognizing that you're not alone in your struggles can also change your perspective on the world. It can open your eyes to the possibility of offering support to others. When you acknowledge that everyone has their own battles, it fosters empathy and kindness. You may be going through your own tough time, but you'll also begin to see how your experiences can help others. A simple act of kindness, a listening ear, or a shared word of encouragement can make a world of difference to someone who feels just as lost as you might. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves that we are not alone, not just because of the people around us, but because we are all part of a shared human journey. Life's challenges are a common thread that weaves us all together. We are all struggling, growing, and learning through adversity. And in this shared experience, there is a power in knowing that we can lift each other up, that together we are stronger than we are apart. When life becomes difficult, the stories we tell ourselves about our circumstances often determine how we experience them. The mind has a powerful tendency to create narratives around pain and adversity, sometimes ones that make us feel helpless, stuck, or defeated. But the incredible truth is that we have the power to reframe these narratives, to change the way we view our struggles, and in doing so, change the way we move through them. The first step in reframing the narrative is recognizing that our perception is not always reality. Just because you are facing hardship doesn't mean that hardship is permanent or defines who you are. Life is fluid. Challenges come and go, but how you interpret them shapes their impact on your life. For example, a failure doesn't have to be seen as a final judgment on your abilities or worth. It can be framed as a valuable learning experience, an opportunity to refine your skills, and a necessary step toward growth. Every setback can be viewed as a setup for a comeback. Another aspect of reframing is shifting from a victim mindset to one of empowerment. When we view ourselves as victims of circumstance, we feel powerless, like the world is happening to us. But when we reframe our challenges as opportunities to exercise our strength, resilience, and creativity, we take back control. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me, we can ask, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to grow, to become better, to move forward? Reframing also involves changing the way we talk to ourselves. Our internal dialogue has a profound impact on how we perceive and respond to challenges. If we constantly tell ourselves that things are impossible, that we're not strong enough, or that we don't deserve better, we reinforce a narrative of limitation. But if we shift our language to focus on possibilities, this is tough, but I've faced tough things before, or I'm learning and growing through this, we open ourselves up to the strength that lies within us. The power of reframing is in the perspective shift it creates. When you reframe a challenge as an opportunity or failure as a lesson, you transform a negative experience into one that serves you. Reframing doesn't deny the difficulty of the situation. It doesn't ask you to minimize your feelings or pretend that everything is okay when it's not. It simply invites you to see things through a different lens, one that empowers you rather than diminishes you. The stories we tell ourselves are the foundation of our experience. By choosing to reframe the narrative, we can shift from feeling trapped by life's challenges to feeling motivated and equipped to face them head on. Instead of being defined by the struggle, we redefine ourselves by how we rise above it. In the end, remember this: life is not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens. You will face pain, challenges, and adversity that is inevitable. But what is also inevitable, if you choose it, is your ability to rise above, to grow through, and to transform in the face of hardship. You are not defined by the struggle, but by the way you rise from it. Each moment of pain is an opportunity for growth, each setback is a setup for a comeback, and each difficulty is a doorway to your greater potential. No matter how dark the moment, no matter how heavy the weight you carry, know that you have the power within you to choose your response. You have the strength to reframe the narrative and see challenges as stepping stones. You have the ability to embrace the pain and let it fuel your growth. You are not alone in your struggles. There is a world of support around you, and together we are stronger. So when life hurts, when it feels like everything is against you, remember this: you have the power to choose. You have the power to rise, to grow, and to transform. This is your time, your moment to become the person you were always meant to be. Keep going. The best is yet to come.